Hi guys, in this video we're looking at the QUECHA 4.2 fresh and black tent. Now I've just spent 2 nights staying in this tent here in this field, so here it is in all of its glory. So I thought I'd do a review because it's always good to hear from people who've actually slept in these things rather than just talking about the features and all the other stuff, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and I've been eating in this tent and sleeping in it and doing everything else in it for the last 2 days. So I thought I'd do a quick review to give you a flavour of what it's like. This is a panoramic shot showing you all sides of the tent. It's super easy to put up. I mean, I'll come on to that at the end of the video. I'll show you how to put it up and take it down. But I thought actually it's more interesting to talk about what it's actually like to be in the tent, because most of these tents are fairly straightforward to put up these days. So really it's all about what it's like to actually spend time in there and sleep in it. I've done a bit of a close-up here because it comes in one piece, and you can see the red toggles. If you've had any of these tents before, you basically start off by putting the 4 corner pegs in first, and that fixes the ground sheet into position for where you want it. And that's a big positive compared to my previous version, is that the ground sheet is integrated in this tent. So you don't have to put the ground sheet down first and then put the tent on second, which is what I had to do with my previous one. This one, it's all integrated. So once you've got those 4 corners in, basically the tent is in position and ready to be set up. So it's super easy to put in place and get going. But I thought we'd have a look actually inside the tent and have a look at the features. So you can see here we've got a big entrance door. It's got zips on both sides, so zip on the right and the zip on the left, which is really handy depending on where you pitch your tent and where you want to go in and out. So I'm just opening both sides of that at the moment so we can have a look through the front door. Now you can roll this door up permanently. We kept it down to minimize the amount of flies in there. So this central section is where you store all your gear, and it's really big, and the head height in here is really quite high. So I'm just about 6 foot tall, and I could stand up in here really easily. So I think you've probably got about 6'3", 6'4" of headroom that you can stand up no problem. There is a section at the back here which is like a window, so if we unzip that you'd be able to see out. So you can see there's a mesh to stop all the bugs coming in, but it gives you a bit more light and it makes it feel quite spacious and nice and bright in there. You can roll that up if you want to. I'm just showing you the mesh here to keep all of the bugs out. Really nice feature, really well made, really good. And you can roll that section up and tie it away if you want to. We didn't bother, we just left it hanging where we were. And the same on the other side. There are some pegs here for the front door, so you can pull this section down as well to let in a bit more light. You've got a plastic window here. We didn't do that while we stayed here, we just kept it closed to give us a bit more privacy. But you can do that if you want a bit more light, or you're wanting to be able to see out and see what people are up to. So quite useful. But with these 2 sections open on either side, it makes it really bright and light and airy in this central section. So quite a nice space to spend a bit of time, to chill out and just sort of have a bit of privacy away from some of the other campers. So really well made. This central section really pleasant, and a lot of the other campers we were with were quite jealous that we had this, that a lot of them didn't have a living area, so to speak, or anywhere to store their bags. So yeah, they were quite jealous, so it was pretty good. So let's have a look at the bedrooms. Now this is fresh and black. So the big difference here to my previous tent is that the lining on this is really quite dark. So it's not 100% blackout, but it is very dark. So you can see here, you can't see my hand on the other side of that. So the benefit of that is that when you get in there at night, or even if it's still light, it feels really dark. So if you're putting the kids to bed, or you're trying to get people to go to sleep while it's still light, it is quite nice because it feels dark. It's a bit like closing your curtains in the bedroom. It's a nice environment. And in the morning, when I woke up, it meant that I didn't wake up at the crack of dawn. Normally when I go camping, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but in this tent, it was more like 7:30. There are a couple of sections you saw at the bottom there. There's a zip that you can let a bit of air in and a bit more light, and there's a hook at the top to put a lamp on or a torch. That's pretty handy. So it's really nice space, this bedroom, and it's a big double bedroom. You can put a double blow-up mattress, that's what we had in there. Really spacious, 2 people would fit in there very easily. So we're looking at the other side, the other bedroom. So you basically got 2 double bedrooms in this tent. It's basically the same. It's a mirror image of the first one. Really nicely balanced in terms of the size and the dimensions. The 2 bedrooms are pretty big. You've got the section in the middle, which is quite spacious as well. So it feels like the sort of tent that you can spend a week in. I was in here for 3 days, 2 nights, and it was fine. So you can see I'm in the bedroom now. I've zipped it closed. It's quite dark. You could have a snooze in here if you wanted to. Got the same hook for the light and the same section at the bottom that you can unzip if you want to let a bit more fresh air or a bit more light in. You can see it lets a bit more light in when that section's open. So it's got a mesh as well to stop the bugs getting in. So the bedrooms are completely enclosed. You can see here, that's the ground sheet, and the walls are all integrated. So no bugs whatsoever came into this bedroom. It was bug free, 100% bug free zone, which is great, which is what you want really when you're sleeping there, when the kids are sleeping there. You don't want lots of ants and earwigs and various other creepy crawlies coming in and crawling all over your face. So it's nice that it is completely integrated. The ground sheet for the middle section is not 100% integrated. So you can see here, there's the grass. So it does have the little sides that lap up, but the bugs can get in. So you can see after 2 days, we had some ants and earwigs and a few other things that decided to come in and see what was happening in the tent as well. There's a central section here I didn't show, which you can put a light into as well. So you can keep the middle section illuminated. So we had a couple of hanging lamps like this inside. So at night you can pop in, you've got some illumination. Really well thought out tent, really good, really nice. We didn't have any condensation. We didn't have any problems with moisture or anything like that. So really well constructed, really pleasant environment to be in. And overall, the best tent that I've stayed in. So really, really good time. Okay, so let's have a look in this tent up. So this is how it comes, tent in a bag. So it looks pretty much like a sports bag. Pretty light actually, quite easy to carry around. Much easier than previous tents I've had. And really portable, so not very heavy. One person can carry that easily. So this is what you get in the bag. So you've got all of the poles. Now we did look at the air version of this, and this was a lot cheaper. And actually it's so easy to put up that I wouldn't recommend anything else. It's so convenient. So you get the poles that you need to put in. There's 2 black ones and 2 brown ones. And you get a few spare pieces as well, just in case you break something or something goes wrong. So pretty good out of the bag, I think. Then you get your pegs. So this is exactly the amount of pegs that you need, which is great. And they're quite sturdy, quite strong. And then you've got your 4 corner pegs. So these are the ones that go with the red toggles. You can see the red toggle there. That's where it goes. So the 4 corner pegs you put in first. So when you lay out the tent on the floor, put those in first and then you're fixed into position. So get the tent out of the bag. So the tent's just on the right there. And then here's a key tip. There are instructions inside the bag. When I first had a tent like this, I didn't know that they came with instructions and just blindly tried to put whatever it was together. If you follow these instructions, it is so simple. And the good thing about these instructions is it tells you what order to do everything, because it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty easy, you can't really go wrong. But it is useful to do it in the right order, because otherwise you might have to go back and find that you've done something out of sequence and that you're going to have to undo some of the stuff you've done. So really great to have it in the bag, and because it's tied into the bag, you can't lose it as long as you don't lose the bag. So once you've got the tent back in the bag, the instructions are always going to be in the bag, which is perfect. Even if you have to lend it to somebody else, they will be able to see those instructions as well. So you take out the tent and the ground sheet is fixed into it. So it's one piece, there's just one thing in that bag. And then it's a case of unfolding it. So literally you just lay it all out. The black section is the ground sheet for one of the bedrooms and it's folded on top of itself. So pull it all out. And then it's very, very simple. All you have to do is feed the poles into the gaps. And it tells you which one is which. The brown one goes in the middle and the black one goes on the outside. Feed them in. And then you've started to get the shape for your tent. There are some little hooks here that clip onto the poles. Pretty straightforward. Put that in and that means the tent is sticking to the poles. And then all you have to do is push the poles into the 2 black toggles that are fixed to the ground sheet. So really well built. So that's basically as difficult as it gets. You then have to put all the guy ropes in and pull them out and nail them in, but we haven't bothered showing you that because it's pretty straightforward. If you've ever been camping, you'll have done it, but even if you haven't, you just pull these ropes out and put the peg into the ground, and that's it. That's your tent up, ready, and have some fun camping. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, guys. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.